Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from Elliott Wave Pro. So we'll start with DXY, like I always do. We've been looking for this on the daily chart. We've been looking for this X up. This is your target here, that 38.2 in the next two. Haven't quite got there yet. If we go down to H4, last week we were in here. We're in just around in here somewhere, and I was looking for this C down to give us that A, B, C in here to finish off the B wave. And we got the A, B, and then we get that C up. 100 fib got hit, and the 38.2 is not far away. Now, we haven't got any bearish divergence here. So more than likely this will keep on going up. We can go up to this 161.8 fib here. We'll have to see price action where we get this second correction here. So we'll get another similar size correction wherever this wave Y ends. We'll get another correction, and then we'll get another like wave 5 or wave Z up, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, so we're looking at a motive pattern here. I can do this, put the count on. Now this wave Y isn't over, obviously. We don't have any bearish divergence. So if we go down to the H1, we're starting to get bearish divergence now between these two top. Well, between this top and this top, this one here and this here, we don't have any bearish divergence, but internally here, we've got bearish divergence between this top and this top here. We've got that bearish divergence there. So if we draw a trend line here, this may be the end of the wave Y, or it's still looking bullish here. More than likely, it's got more upside. To get the sell, we're only looking for a correction, a larger correction like on the H4. So it's going to be risky. We're going to be, whenever this wave Y is finished, we're going to be in here for a few weeks in this correction here. So it's going to be choppy after this Y is finished. We don't, it's looking more bullish because it's broken the top. We do have bearish divergence, but this isn't over. This can be a little flag in here for more upside. If you are looking for the sell, you'd have to wait, get a big breakdown and little flag in here for a correction, and then look for the sell to the trend line or whatever you're looking for. But I'm only really looking for upside at this stage because we don't have any of that bearish divergence on the H4, and it is a H4 trade because we're looking at the daily structure. So we're looking at this. We're at the end of wave Y on the daily, so we're looking for this. Like this is a little bit sharp. I would have liked, we might get something like this, A, B, C, something like this on the daily. So we're only looking at this as a correction. I'm only looking at this as a correction also before we get that Z down on the daily. Like I said, on the H1, you really have to wait for this correction in here before you can look for that Z up. If you're not in the trade already, I really, unless you're scalping, a good scalper, I'd just stay out of it. You've missed the trade, basically. AU, last week, again, we have a motive structure here. If we go to the daily, have a quick look at the daily. We've got a high, and I'm looking for that larger correction like I showed last week. So if we go down on the H4, we now have the motive pattern in play. You can either call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or W, X, Y, X, Z. The letters and numbers don't mean nothing. It's a structure. So we're looking at a motive pattern here. So I'm expecting a W, X, Y, X, Z to finish off the move. And then it is more than likely be another big correction for another 5 down. So yeah, looking for this 5 down here. If you miss a trade, like last week, we haven't quite got to the 161.8 yet. First target would have been that 100 fib. Second target is that 161.8. But last week, I was actually looking at last week. We got that bull hidden here. So I explained this last week. We got that bull hidden there. So I wasn't ruling out that this top gets broken. And we're in here last week, somewhere in here. And I was looking at that as maybe a bull flag to go and break that top. So I put caution there. I wasn't looking for the buy, but I was only looking for sells. But this was looking like we could have had a bull flag here and may have gone and broken the top. It hadn't, and it just dropped down. So if you got in the sell, you done well. I missed this one, but I've got a few of the others. So on the H1 now, we're looking at this. This may be a flat here, or it could be the end of the move. We did get a cross up, so we do have that bullish divergence on the MACD. So if you do get some sort of a buy setup, look for the buy. But it'll only be a scalp, because more than likely this can be here at A, some sort of an A, B, C in here. Then you get that C up for more downside. So if you want, you can put a sell stop at the low. Wait for this C up to go first. Like this is your A, B that's just broken the low, and we get that C up. But if you get a little bit bull flag in here on the lower time frames, like M5 or M1 or something, you could trade that C up. And if it goes well, all good. Look for the trend line or something for your target. But I'm expecting that this is just an A, B, C for more downside, I dare say. And this 61.8 here gets taken out before we get that larger correction. So there's no setup on this at all. You could have traded this down to break this low, and you get that trade there. At this stage, we're getting bullish divergence, so we can draw your trend line. And if you are looking for the buys, well, you need a nice breakout and flag or correction to buy, or else put that sell stop at the low. Once you get this C up, use the top of the C wherever the C goes, and then triggers you into the sell. Well, there's your stop loss, and you'll be looking for the A, B, C on the H1. If I zoom this out, this is what you'll be looking for. Well, actually, we got a little we may have an extended wave here, and we've got the Z down giving us a bullish divergence. So yeah, if you do get that break, bull flag, look for the buy this week. But take into consideration the higher time frames too. This wave Y is not over on the H4, so you need that confirmation to trade against the trend. EU. So again, last week I was looking for this. But we were in here somewhere, and I was looking for this A, B, C, like I had it. But I was just looking for a little bit more up to go and break this top. It never happened, but we got a nice break of the low here. You got a nice sell set up here that you could have taken. I took that one down to the 100 fib, but the 100 fib hadn't quite been hit yet. But it's very close to the 100 fib. If we go onto the higher time frames. So this one, we're looking for that 38.2 fib here as your target in X2. Oh, sorry, this is on the daily. So on the daily, yeah, this one here, I'm sort of looking, because if we have a look on the daily, on the daily, we have crossed down. We've crossed down on the MACD now. So I'm expecting a larger correction. So I'm expecting something like this, like however it goes. So before I wasn't looking at, I was only looking at the 38.2. Now I'm looking at the 50 fib retracement. We got the cross down. So the H4 more than likely will keep on going. This more than likely isn't over. We don't have any bullish divergence. We got the trend line. More than likely this will keep on going. If I just adjust this settings, put on the 161.8 as well, so we can continue down, but this might be a little flat in here for an A, B, C or something, and then get more downside. Might give another little flag or something in there down to the 161.8 before we get the like a W, X, Y, X, and then we get the Z down. We're getting a motive pattern. So this wave Z up here most likely won't play out. Most likely won't play out now because we've got the cross on the daily. So I'm not totally ruling out this wave X and another higher high, but the chances of getting this Z up are becoming slim because we've got that cross on the higher time frame. So we just finished with a WXY on the H4 with an internal extended wave in wave Y. So we got a WXY, and that's maybe all of the correction. We don't know for sure. That's why I definitely can't rule out the X yet, because we're still within this time frame of this here, of this correction here. So this correction here, we're still within this time frame. So until price, more than likely, this isn't over. This can keep on going and more down. And if it goes past this time factor, more than likely, well, that'll confirm for sure that daily structure, that wave up on the daily is over. I think it's already over, and we're not going to get this Z up, the Z up, but I can't rule it out totally. So you can sort of look for the buys and the sells, and we do have that bullish divergence on here as well. So if you get a bull set up, buy. If you get the sell set up, you can sell it. So if we get the A, B, C up and it breaks a low, well, you can put a sell stop loss up here and look for the 161.8. Instead, if it gives you a bull flag up here, well, you could look for that buy. GU, again, it was pretty much similar, very similar. So we got WXY up, and the thing with GU is we've got this possible bull hidden divergence here. So I definitely can't rule out this the Z up on this one yet. So this can be well, it's not complete because I'm looking for a correction similar size to this. So this can be A, then might get a B and then a C down and then get that Z up. So if we go down to the H4, we're looking for this C down. I was actually last week, we were up here somewhere, and I thought this might have like gone on for a while, instead of just fall over straight away. We do have that bullish divergence. We don't have it. The trend line still holds. We don't have a break of the trend line, and looks like we're getting a little flat in here. Well, during the week, I put out a trade idea in the group to we got a little flat in here to give more downside. So if we go on to the H1 and see, it didn't really play out. It was a break-even trade for me, but this still can go. We sort of got an A, B, C in here, so you can put a sell stop there on the M15, and that'll be wherever this wave ends, stop loss and sell stop, and you'd be looking for at least 100 fib to move it to break even or take half off or whatever you're going to do. If we look at the H4 again, the 100 fibs are a fair way away. So I'm not really expecting this 100 fib to get hit, because if this 100 fib gets hit over here, the daily had that bull hidden, so the invalidation point for the bull hidden is also under this. So it's very close. So I'm not really expecting this to come down to this 100 fib if the bull hidden is going to play out. We may get something like this. This may continue down, but for the buy, you want a trend line break and the bull flag or correction before you can look for that buy, for the bull hidden to play out. I don't think it's over, and I don't think it's just going to go up and break this top for the bull hidden. It may eventually, but I dare say we're going to get that larger D1 correction, and it's a time factor. So it's going to take quite some time for this to play out. If this is the X2, it's going to take some time to play out. So you just have to watch it. We could be in a correction, and it'll be mainly just scalps. It can like A, B, C up in B, and then another C down before it goes. So we can be in correction for quite a while now, because we've had that impulse. ENZ, I was looking for that 38.2. No, sorry, I was looking for that 50 fib on this one. We got that actually last week I was just looking for the C down and then this to continue up to finish off this Z. Well, Z's already finished now. We've got the trend line break, and I dare say we're looking for that correction or flag down to the most likely down to the 50 fib. So I always like to see 50 fib in a wave B, like this is your A up here and your B for the larger correction, then you get that C up. So yeah, I think there's more downside in this. If we go on the lower time frames, it still hasn't given us that lower low. It's given us a lower low here. With this wave here, but I would really like to see this low here broken. It hasn't really given us a lower low here, because this is still one wave on the H1 on the daily. So that's why I still got this flat here, this possible flat. Now I won't be trading this buy up, but if I do get it, I definitely will be looking for the sells. If we do. I'm not really. I most likely won't look for the buy on this. I'm more interested in the sell now because we got the trend line break and the cross. So what I'd like to see here now is some sort of a correction, whatever sort of correction it gives, to look for that sell. The structure's still sound. This structure here is still sound. This A, B, C, for the larger A, B, C. So if you do want to look for that buy, more than you definitely can. But when it comes to risk management, I might do a video on risk management and that. But on risk management, if we have a look at the daily, we're at a top, so there's more chance of downside than there is upside. But H1, it's sort of, yeah, it's not really giving anything. It's sort of giving a little buy, but this is deep, so it's more likely just an A, B, C for more downside. So you'll just have to see what sort of flag correction you get to trade what direction you like. I'm more interested in the sells than that flat buy, this expanding flat here. It definitely can play out. I definitely can't rule it out, but yeah. UI, we'll go to the daily. So I've been saying for a long time now, we got an A, B, C, and then we get that C up to finish off this wave Y before we get that Z down. So I've been looking for this wave, this C up here. Go down to the H4. So we got this A, B, C in here for the A, B, C, and then I changed it. I was looking for the A, B, C up here. Because we got a contracting flat in here, like I explained last week. It turned out to be a contracting flat. The low got broken. Last week we were down here. The low hadn't quite got broken. I was saying as soon as this low gets broken, look for the buys. Now, if you did just that, like I did, you would have got a nice trend line break in here, and you got a nice buy set up in here. I targeted the 100 fib and got out at the 100 fib. It's still not over on the H1, so we just get an A, B, C. Look for a correction. and then look for more upside. Starting to get internal bearish divergence here, so this may be coming to an end on the H1. Looks like a little flag in here actually, for more upside. We got this flat here. If we go down one, so M15, yeah, I was looking for that. That's the trade that I put out in the group, and got that on the M15. And then we got this here. I was looking for the buy again. This here is looking, you definitely could take this, even though there's bearish divergence. UY just keeps on, it gives a lot of corrections. UY, you sort of, once you get into the trade, you've virtually just got to keep on holding it, because it'll look like it's going to take you out and then it'll go. That's just the way GY is, but you're getting a nice flag here. If you get the break of that, look for the buy. Look for your buy setups. If this low here gets broken, well, then we know that we're going to get the larger correction before we go up for the C. So this will be the A, B, and the C on the H1. But at the moment, look for that buy. Definitely, you could definitely keep on looking for these buys. Sheffy. So we ended up getting the flat in here, and I was looking for this C up. It turned into a wave Y. So we're getting a motive pattern on this as well. Like most of them, we're getting that motive pattern. So this is a 61.8 up here. So this can just keep on, whatever it does, crawl up to the 161.8 before we get that that wave X2 before we get a Z up. This is a really nice one, and I dare say we'll definitely get that Z up, because if we look on the daily, I put that idea out a while ago on TradingView. I've even still got the same arrow there. I haven't even changed it. So yeah, we're getting that impulse up from here. I put the idea out over here somewhere, and it's just crawled over, and then it's finally started to go on. This is your TP here for the flat. So I'm looking at this as a flat correction here. So we get an A, B, C before we get more downside. So I hope all ears are in this one. I'm still holding one from down here somewhere from a while ago, and yeah, I think I bought another one here as well. I did get out of one at the 100 fib. I'm not sure which one now, but yeah. So I'm ultimately targeting this 100 fib, the daily 100 fib. UCAD, I suppose we should go down on to the lower time frames. Yeah, see, there's nothing really on the lower time frames. We just got that one move up. Just looks like getting another little flag. You can keep on buying these little flags, whether you're going to scalp them, like you get little flag here. Then you got to be careful doing this, because it's risky. You know, it's more of a scalp. You know, just buy and get out. Wait for your next correction, buy, sort of get out. You know, there's nothing really on the H1. UCAD, we're looking for the C up. It's turned out to be a wave Y. So last week we were in here again. I was looking for a little bit more downside just to break this low here. It didn't quite break it, so we got the contracting flat A, B, and C. We're at the 100 fib. If you get buys, you can look for buys. If we look on the daily, we have this bull hidden here. Like I've shown in previous videos, we do have this bull hidden here, so it is possible. It's definitely not out of question for this top here to be broken. So if we do get the larger correction in here, definitely want to look for that buy. At this stage, you can't really trade it at this stage. You've missed the trade. That's the problem with this week, because if you didn't get on the trade, well, you sort of missed it. This week there is no real trades because they've already gone. And the first target's already hit at the 100 fib. So unless you're in the trade down here or wherever you got in, you don't want to be sort of taking these little flats, unless you're in these ones down here. If you're still in the trade, well, and you get a little flat up here, we'll keep on looking for the buy to the 161.8, like the other pairs pretty much. GY is messing around down the bottom. I'm looking for this flat like I showed last week. This may not be over. There's no confirmation this C wave's over, this C wave here, but I'm looking for the A, B, C as a running flat. It may turn into an expanding flat, but this is your invalidation point here. So basically at this low here, I'm only really interested in the buys. It more than likely will go lower by the look at this in here. So we'll go down to the H1 and have a look. So this can become, it's looking corrective, but yeah, it's looking very corrective. So if we look at it here, we got an A, B, C, then we get that A, B, C, then we get that A, B, C, then we get this A, B, C. So this can become quite complex before it actually falls over. And gives us a little bit more downside. We do have a lot of that bullish divergence. So I was looking for the impulse. It didn't give us that impulse. This still can go. What you can do here is put a buy stop just above the top for the, and you'll be targeting this. Once you get, the price goes to here, triggers you from here. As soon as it gets this 100 fib, you definitely want to be moving to break even. Wherever you get in, if you put the buy stop, well, you definitely want to be moving to break even once this 100 fib gets hit. It's very risky to buy. I'm only looking for buys, but it's not really giving any decent buy setups because of the possible structure that it's giving on the H1. Like I said, this is looking like the A, B, C in here. So we get that A, B, C, and then we get this A, B, C, and then we get this other A, B, C. So it can become very complex. Yeah, I would have liked, just a nice impulse up and then a correction, a flag to buy. That's what I like to see. We never got that. It's looking more corrective for more downside. So you have to be careful with that if you're looking for that H4 buy. It may not be over. This C wave may not be over. gold. So gold, we got this. I was looking for this A, B, C, D, E pattern. Last week we were in here. We were just in here. And I was sort of looking for this A, B, C up to the 100 fib. And possibly to go and break this top if this triangle played out. Also said if this low here gets broken, because that's the invalidation point of the triangle, then look for the sell. So I got into the sell. We got a nice move down. We got a little flat in here. I'll go show you on the H1, but so that was your trade down to the low. I took this one in here to break that low. It's broken that low now. So what happened in here, the triangle didn't work, so we removed that. This is their trend. So the triangle become invalid. It didn't matter because we weren't in the buy. We never got the buy set up. It's pretty much, you know, this was your buy set up, buy just above the top, and move the break even or take half off here. So what we had here was a contracting flat in the middle. So I don't really like it, but it's sort of all we can go with now. I'll remove that. So we've got this little flat in here. That's not a trend line. Remove that. So what we ended up getting was an A, B, C contracting flat in here, and then another contracting flat here for the A, B, C. I don't like this as a C wave at all, but it's fallen over and broken the low, so you can't go with anything else. We've got the A, B, C. We're getting the bullish divergence. And if we draw the fib, so the 100 fib is here. Looks like we've got the 38.2 fib as well for the weekly. So if we take a quick look at the weekly, we're in that wave Y. And we're looking for that 38.2 fib for your target in wave X. So what will happen in here? Well, we don't know, but we know that we're going to get some sort of a correction, impulse and a correction and an impulse. So it's actually going to be a lot larger than what I just drew there, because we're looking at this here. Now, this isn't confirmed yet that this wave Y is over, but I dare say it's definitely coming well, it may not be over this wave Y. There's no confirmation that this wave Y is over, but once we get the wave Y over, we're going to get this larger correction. So if we go down to the daily again, we're getting a break of the low here. H4, we got that flat, so we got the A, B, C down. So we're getting that A, B, C. Here's your 100 fib here. So more than likely more downside. We've just broken this low. We do have that bullish divergence. Your trade was up here to get into it. Your trade was up here. So, or here, this one here. This is the one I took here. I didn't take this one because we still hadn't reached that invalidation point. It was only after this that we got this little flat in here. We have a look on the H1. More than likely you'll see it. I'll put this out in the room as well, in the group. we've got this A, B, C, for the A, B, C down. Now it's looking like an A, B, we might get another C up before more downside. So probably look for sells. There is bullish divergence forming on the H4, but there's no suggestion that it's over, that this wave is over. H1, we just have a W X Y. Oh, sorry, that doesn't look like a Y. A W X Y X, and then we get that Z down to give us that bullish divergence, because we just got an A, B. We'll probably get that C up and then more downside. Draw your trend line if you get a little break. However you're going to trade, whatever trading system you've got, look for the sell. WTI. We've got this, if we go to H4, we've got this flat that I don't like. Like I said, I can really only go with it because it's all we sort of got, an A, B, C, and then we're looking for that A, the C up, like this A, B, and the C up to go and at least break this low. It's done that. Wave C only has to break the top of wave A, and it's done that. And now it's sort of giving us an A, B, C. So look for the downside. Even if this is over, if this is the top here, well, this is the top, but in a flat. If this is the end of wave C up, you definitely want to be looking for that C. You want to be looking for that downside. So yeah, look for that. Even if it just turns out to be a C, get it to break even, and you never know, it may break this low and just keep on going for a larger correction. So at the moment, I'm looking for sells. H1, this was a buy in here. So you can sort of see what we got here. Move down. Then we sort of got that. That didn't break the low. I was hoping this here would go and break the low, but it never went. Then it sort of gave us this in here. So now I'm looking at this. I'll put this out in the room. Trade A, B, and look for this C down for an A, B, C before we get that A, B, C, and possibly break the low, or it's just a C down and we continue up and break the top. So we sort of have to see, but at this stage it's bearish. I think, well, if I go down to the M15, I don't usually go down to the M15, but you can sort of see the price action. That's why I was looking for this as the flat, because we got this here. Remove that. I'll just draw it. So we got an A. We can see how choppy this is. A B, and we get that C down. Now, it broke out, and then it's giving us this here. So it's giving some sort of A, B, C in here. So put a sell stop at the low. If it goes and breaks that top, well, take that sell stop off. But if it just drops, look for that A, B, C, move it to break even, and you never know, it could even go further and break that other low. But I'm only looking for sells because the structure, it's yeah, it's very messy, so it's looking corrective for more downside, basically. So I'm only looking for sells at this stage. Bitcoin, I was looking for this. Now, this didn't play out. I was looking for this as bear hidden divergence, like I put in trading view idea. I was looking for this. Now, this put the idea out over here and got the move down. So even if you took it, you wouldn't have lost money. But I'm looking for this low over here to be broken. And now this structure here has become too large. It's a lot larger than this. So it's the end of wave Y. And then we're getting an A, some sort of A, B, C, and then more upside. But at the moment, it's looking bullish. You can only look for the SPY on this one at the moment. Because that didn't go down and break the low, it means that this here is incorrect, and we're not going to get that Z down, because if we're going to get that Z down, it would have just kept on going. Instead, it's given us an impulse up. So the chances of this low getting broken now become a lot slimmer. So that's why I'm saying we only want to look for the buy. And we may even be getting a nice setup here. So I might get something like this. So we get that nice impulse, A, B, C, and then buy. You can either put the buy stop at the top and your stop loss under the wave, internal wave A, B, C, under the internal wave C, or you can go down on the time frames and try and get a better entry for this up here. But definitely looking for that buy on Bitcoin this week. Looks good. S&P on the daily, I've been looking for this. I was looking for this C down for ages. It never happened, but now it's looking like it can be an A, B, C for a flat for more upside. There's no confirmation that we're getting more upside from here, but that's a possible structure on the daily. So then if we have a look at the H4, so we got an A, B, C, we got the C down, we got bullish divergence. I said last week that you can only buy once we break this trend line here. We're about here last week, and we just broke that low, and I was saying we'll probably get more downside for this C. Now, if we go down to H1, we got some nice trades. I got some nice trades in this last week. During the week after the analysis, this is where we were when I done the analysis last week. I was sort of looking for more downside, but then it come back up. So what the trade was here was I was looking for this. When I seen this impulse up, I was looking for A, B, C, and we got that. And this was 100 fib up here. It never quite got hit, but didn't take a loss on it. And then once we got to this stage up here, we had that bear hidden divergence between that top and that top. So I was looking for the first target to be hit at the low for the bear hidden divergence. That happened. And then we got this impulse up, and I was looking for this A, B, C up here for your first target. This trend line still holds, so now it's become a little bit tricky. If I remove all this, that were just some of the trades during the week. If you're in the group, you get access to all the ideas and all that. So what we have now is this. We got to move up from the low, an A, B, C in a little flat for an A, B, C. Well, we're getting a WXY. So we can put our fib on. We may go up to the 161.8, or this is it, and we don't cross this trend line and we break down for more downside. So like I said on H4, there's no confirmation that this wave is over yet. It's becoming choppy, and we do have bullish divergence. So if you get a little flag in here, you can buy. On the other hand, if you get a bear flag, look for that sell. Okay? You'll just have to play it by ear at this stage, because is it over or is it not? For it to be over, I would have liked this, just an impulse up here and then a flag in here to buy. Instead, we got this. And that's why I took half off at the 100 fib, because this structure in here is corrective. So I'm just looking for that A, B, C and then more downside. But now that we don't have any bearish divergence, well, you can still look for that scalp higher. Ideally, we get a break of this top here. If we get a break of that top there, then probably get a larger correction, and then you can definitely look for that buy. That's the buy that you don't want to miss. So if we do get that break of that top, this top here, look for that correction, whatever sort of correction you get in there, and then look for that buy. The DAX. So last week, we're in this channel. I was talking about this channel, and it can stay up here for ages and ages and ages. But I was looking at this channel, and we were in here last week, and I was only looking for sells. I said to stay out of it because this was looking bullish. It ended up falling over. And I was saying this can just like break the top, and this can stay in here for ages before it actually falls over. Well, it's already fallen over, and we got the trend line break. So now we definitely want to take the sell. We want to look for that sell setup, and we are getting a nice sell setup here. So if you do trade this, you might get a nice opportunity. So you can look at this as an A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C up as a running or expanding flat. We don't know what we're going to get at this stage, but if we get an expanding flat, wait for the end of wave C, like this is your A, the B, and the C. Wait for the end of wave C, impulse down, little flag on the lower time frames, and then look for that sell. Go and break that low. And it could be a really nice trade because we're at that top as well. So because we've broken out of that channel, not channel, sorry, rising wedge or ending diagonal, however you like to look at it. But we've broken out of that trend line. Definitely look for the sells. Your target, well, like I've been saying for ages, I put this out ages ago, that on the daily, we have bear hidden divergence. So there's no, I definitely can't rule out that this low gets broken. like I said ages ago, if you watch my videos, we've got that bear hidden here. So there's no reason why this low can't get broken. I definitely can't rule that out. So is this the one that goes and breaks the low? Well, we don't know, but you definitely want to take this trade. You know, any sell setup you get, you want to take. And that's your ultimate target, the low. You know, you could take half off at the 50 fib and the rest off at the low, however you trade. But yeah, we got bear hidden there, and it's confirmed. So definitely look to break that low. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it can. And it does sometimes. So we have the possibility of bear hidden. You're getting a nice setup on the H1. This can be a nice flat correction after the trend line break. Yeah, and even if you just put a sell stop just under there, and wherever this ends, if you're afraid that you're not going to get the trade, well, you can put that sell stop on and triggers you. Well, you have your stop loss up here wherever the wave C ends, and yeah, you're in the trade, so you don't miss it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the analysis this week. Please like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy your week, and I'll see you out there next week.